And what's going on, y'all? Welcome to Change the Cheddar right here on the Golden Octagon. If you don't know how this works, this is my Friday post weigh-in betting show. And as the name implies, we're trying to turn some change into some cheddar over here. Maybe I can fix my blinds that I broke earlier today, moving around the stuff in here. But with that being said, I appreciate every single one of you for stopping by here, hanging out with me right over here on the Golden Octagon right here tonight. If you don't mind, hit that thumbs up button for your boy. And yeah, let's just get into the show. We're going to run through each one of the weigh-ins and the face-off photos. I'm going to give you my last minute thoughts and opinions. And then at the end of the show, I do have 3 parlays to share with you guys. A little bit different than what it's normally like. I usually have one $10 and 2 $5 parlays to share with you guys. But earlier in the week, I already shared a $10 parlay. So I'm just going to reshare that one for anyone that missed it. I do have one more $10 parlay cooked up for you guys, and then a big long shot $5 parlay that we're going to close out the show with. So with that being said, let me remove the thumbnail from the stream, and I will get the weigh-in photos pulled up, and I will remove my big ugly face, and then we can talk about the fights. So first fight of the night is going to be Cody Brundage taking on Eric McConaughey. Over under here is 1.5. The over is -105. The under is -125. Cody Brundage is your favorite at -170. Eric McConaughey is your underdog at +142. This is at a light heavyweight, so keep that in mind. I don't know what's going to happen here, but it's a Cody Brundage fight, and I am not betting it. I am staying far away. If I had to pick, give me Cody Brundage round 1 knockout here. Next fight of the night, we have Gabriela Hernandez taking on Julia Stoliarenko. Gabriela Hernandez is -440 favorite. Julia Stoliarenko is +340, the underdog. Over-under here is 2.5. The over 2.5 is +135. The under 2.5 is -175. So the chalk to the under, but that's because the only way Julia wins this fight is round 1 armbar, and that's the only way she ever wins. But as you see her on the scale right there, right here, gee whiz, she just looks terrible. The only time she's looked worse than this is when she passed out on the scale. So if you're on Julia Stoliarenko, I don't know how you could be. Maybe round 1 sub. That's the only way she ever wins, round 1 armbar. But on me, I am on Gabriela Hernandez. I think it's going to be a round 2 submission for Gabriela Hernandez. So that's my pick. Round 2 submission, Gabriela Hernandez. Up next, we do have Jocelyn Edwards taking on Priscilla Cachoeira. Jocelyn Edwards is -395, the favorite. Priscilla Cachoeira is the underdog at +310. Over-under here is 2.5. The over is -180. The under is +140. Yeah, this is another one where I am on Jocelyn Edwards heavy this week. There's a game plan to beat Priscilla Cachoeira. Take her down, get the back, and choke her out. And I think truly round 1, is going to be on the feet. Round 2, I think Jocelyn Edwards starts implementing the wrestling, and we maybe see a round 3 Jocelyn Edwards submission. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say we get a round 3 Jocelyn Edwards rear naked choke. That's what I think is going to happen. Moving on, we have Urosh, the Dr. Medic, taking on Gilbert, the RGV bad boy Urbina. Urosh Medic is -340, your favorite. Gilbert Urbina is your underdog at +270. The over-under here is 1.5. The over is +120. The under is -154. Yeah, I can't trust Gilbert Urbina. He gets dropped by jabs by Trayshawn Gore on The Ultimate Fighter. I don't think I can ever pick you when I see that happening. Urosh Medic got pretty nasty striking. He has power. The only way Gilbert Urbina wins this fight is if he is able to get it down, get Urosh Medic down often and hold him there, for long periods of time. Because truly, I just don't see him winning, to be honest. I am going Urosh Medic round 1 knockout here. Up next, we have Elijah Smith taking on Tashomi Kazama. Elijah Smith is your favorite at -800. Tashomi Kazama is your underdog at +550. The over-under here is 1.5. The over is +114. The under is -145. Yeah, Kazama's just got a terrible chin, and Elijah Smith has some punching power. So, I know MMA math doesn't really work, and this isn't really MMA math. This is just, power versus chin math, if you will. I am on Elijah Smith round 1 knockout here. Up next, we have Juice Box. Julius Walker taking on Rafael Sequeira. Julius Walker is minus 700. The favorite, Rafael Sequeira, is plus 500. The underdog, over-under here is 1.5. The over 1.5 is plus 190. The under 1.5 is minus 250. Yeah, this is another one where Rafael Sequeira just has a bad chin, and Julius Walker, even though he didn't win against Alonzo Menifield, he definitely hurt Alonzo Menifield, and, that's not easy to do. So Julius Walker has lots of round 1 finishes, and he showed in his last fight that he can go all 3 rounds. But I don't think it's going 3 rounds. I think this is going to be, once again, a round 1 knockout for Juicebox, Julius Walker. Up next, we have Eric, your boy, Anders, taking on CLD, Christian Leroy Duncan. Christian Leroy Duncan is minus 520, your favorite. Eric Anders is plus 390, your underdog. The over-under here is 2.5. The over is minus 188. The under is plus 145. Yeah, Eric Anders on the way to scale this morning looked like he was limping, dragging his leg. Just not a good look, but I don't trust CLD at all, if I'm going to be honest. I am picking Christian Leroy Duncan to win this fight via decision. But if by some way, shape, or form this turned into a Eric Anders fight, which is basically a cage push, I could truly see him, winning a split decision, because CLD he's a great athlete, but he's not a smart fighter. He throws spinning back asses. I'm just going to leave it at that. CLD via decision for me. Up next, we have Miles Johns taking on John Matsumoto. Over-under here is 2.5. The over 2.5 is minus 315. The under 2.5 is plus 230. Miles Johns is your favorite at plus 205. John Matsumoto is your underdog. I'm sorry. Miles Johns is your underdog at plus 205. John Matsumoto is your favorite at minus 250. Yeah, don't really feel too great about it either way here, but I am on John Matsumoto 3 or decision. I really don't like the way Miles Johns looks after he's, striking for 2 rounds. So that's why I say John Matsumoto 3 or decision, because I feel like Miles Johns might be a little bit tired there in the 3rd. So moving on to the next one, we got Andre Touchy Feely taking on C-Rod, Christian Rodriguez. Andre Feely is plus 200. The underdog. C-Rod is your favorite at minus 245. Over-under here is 2.5. The over 2.5 is minus 215. The under 2.5 is plus 165. I am on C-Rod via decision, but I am not going to be betting it, because the only time I can bet C-Rod is when he's the underdog taking on an undefeated fighter, because that seems to be the only time you can guarantee that he's going to win, because when he takes on these savvy vets, something tends to go wrong, and he just tends to lose. But I am on C-Rod via decision this week. Moving on, we've got Yasmin Lucindo taking on Angie Overkill Hill. We've got Yasmin Lucindo, your favorite, at minus 192. Angie Hill is your underdog at plus 160. Over-under here is 2.5. The over 2.5 is minus 720. The under 2.5 is plus 450. I know a lot of people on Angie Hill this week, but yeah, I got to go Yasmin Lucindo here, and a real sneaky little play. Yasmin Lucindo on FanDuel sub 2-3 is plus 1,700. That's willing. I'd be willing to, play a few dollars at that even straight. So my official pick for this fight is going to be Yasmin Lucindo to win this fight via 3rd round submission. When Angie Hill loses, not via decision, it is via submission. She's never been knocked out before, but she has been submitted, and I know Yasmin Lucindo can wrap up that head and arm triangle. So 3rd round head and arm triangle for me, Yasmin Lucindo. Co-main event of the evening, we have Ode, the Haitian sensation Osborne, taking on Astro Boy Steve Urseg. Steve Urseg is your favorite at minus 575. Ode Osborne is your underdog at plus 425. Over-under here is 1.5. The over 1.5 is minus 166. The under 1.5 is plus 130. This fight is going to be at 135 pounds. Short notice, well, at least for Ode Osborne, because Hyung Sung Park was going to take on Steve Urseg, but he fought Tatsuru Taira last week, and now Ode Osborne stepping in for Hyung Sung Park now. So this fight at 135, this is a big step down in competition for Steve Urseg. So this is going to be a real eye-opener to see the level that Steve Erceg is truly at, in my opinion. And I just think that he's better than Ode Osborne, if I'm going to be honest. His ground game is phenomenal, and Ode Osborne has been submitted before. So, once again, just like the last one, could go via decision, but I am on Steve Erceg via round 3 submission. So, these last two right here could be, Yasmin Lucindo 3 or decision, or Steve Erceg 3 or decision. But, maybe take a look at that sub 2-3 prop, maybe somewhere around there, because those are pretty solid numbers. Main event of the evening, we've got Roman, the Caucasian Dolidze, taking on Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. Roman Dolidze is your underdog at plus 275. Anthony Hernandez is your favorite at minus 345. The over-under here is 3.5. The over 3.5 is minus 135. The under 3.5 is plus 105. Yeah, Anthony Fluffy missed weight this morning by, I think, a half of a pound. But, he don't look terrible up there on the scale, if I'm going to be honest. And I know Roman Dolidze didn't gas in his last fight against Marvin Vettori. He looked good all 5 rounds. Looked like he had the cardio to go all 5. But the thing is, Roman Dolidze isn't, shooting for takedowns 1,000 times per fight like Fluffy will. Like he's going to get on the ground. And how many times does it take for Roman Dolidze to get up before he gets tired? I think we're going to find out this weekend. I'm going Anthony Fluffy Hernandez to win this fight via decision, but FanDuel does have a solid prop there. Anthony Hernandez 4-5 or decision, so I'm going to be playing that as well. And I just recommend y'all just stay safe, y'all. Anything could happen in this fight because Roman Dolidze is an absolute animal. And, let's not pretend like Fluffy hasn't been hurt and finished in the first round before. So we'll see what happens here this weekend. But I'm on Anthony Hernandez via decision. So for anyone that stopped in, I'll run back down them one more time. Anthony Hernandez via decision. Co-main event, I'm on Astro Boy Steve Erceg via round 3 submission. Yasmin Lucindo, round 3 submission. I am on Christian Rodriguez via decision. I am on John Matsumoto via decision. I am on Christian Leroy Duncan via decision. I am on Juicebox Julius Walker, round 1 knockout. This one right here, I am on Elijah Smith, round 1 knockout. This one right here, I am on Urosh Medic, round 1 knockout. This one right here, I am on Jocelyn Edwards, round 3 submission. And this one right here, I am on Gabriela Fernandez, round 2 submission. But I also don't hate the TKO either. I just like Gabriela Fernandez finish. But first fight of the night, I am going Cody Brundage, round 1 knockout, I guess. I don't know about this one, but I'm not betting it. I recommend you not bet this one either. So that being said, that was all my picks for every fight on the card. Prelims all the way up to the main event and then back down. So let me go to the chat real quick. What's going on? Yeah. What's going on, Antoine? How you doing, brother? Yo, Matt, what's up? How's your day, man? Not too bad, honestly. I, got some stuff done around here at the house. Broke my blind, so not happy about that. So I got to get some new ones because you can't just replace one. So I got to get a whole new thing now. But it is what it is. Part of moving. Antoine says, not gonna lie, my day was super annoying. Just had a super annoying day at work. I'm sorry to hear that, Antoine. But it's Friday, man. It's Friday. Just remember, we got fights tomorrow. Relax. We can make some money tomorrow, brother. And we got Skunks in here with the dudes. What's going on, Skunks? How you doing, brother? So, time for the Change to Cheddar parlay. And as I said at the beginning of the show, I usually do one $10 parlay and two $5 parlays, but the way this week works is I'm on basically all the favorites, if I'm going to be honest. So there's not a lot of money to be made, in my opinion, this week, but I still found money to be made. I did share a parlay with you guys on Wednesday for the Golden Octagon MMA podcast with D Rose. So I'm going to reshare that one. It is a $10 parlay. I also have one more $10 parlay and then one $5 parlay. So We got Dana Blanco in here. Yo, just cracks in midnight. I like this set. I hit an MVP 1 of 1. Nice, man. That's what's up. Shout out to you. Good card, man. Good card. Antoine saying, thank you so much for that, bro. I'm gonna go. I'm off tomorrow, so I'm gonna get to watch. Hell yeah, that's what's up. Hair is getting long. Yeah, man. It's hot. It's hot. I'm not gonna lie. So parlay time, y'all. The first parlay I did share with well, that's the weigh-in photos. Come on now, get off the screen. The first parlay I did share with you guys on Wednesday for the Golden Octagon MMA podcast. So this number probably a little bit different now. Probably, if I could guess, maybe like plus 900 something, because odds have changed just a little bit. But we will run through it. It is a 5-leg parlay. It is Euro Shmedic by knockout in round 1 or round 2. Gabriela Hernandez by knockout or by submission, doesn't matter how. The Jocelyn Edwards money line. The Elijah Smith knockout in round 1 or round 2. And then to close out the 5-leg, it is Julius Walker to win by knockout in round 1 or 2. That is my first confidence parlay this week. But remember, I don't have one. I have 2 confidence parlays to share with you guys. I cooked this one up last night, and it is another 5-leg parlay. $10 to win $175 plus $16.57, and it goes like this. Gabriela Hernandez by knockout or by submission. Jocelyn Edwards money line. Julius Walker to win in round 1. So it doesn't matter how, just in round 1. Steve Erceg to win in round 3 or by decision. And to close this one out, we got Anthony Fluffy Hernandez in round 4, 5, or by decision. $10 on that. If we hit them all, returns $175.74. And the big daddy this week. It's only 3 legs. It's $5, but it will return over 2 bands if we can hit these 3 legs. And I think it's possible, y'all. It's possible that we hit this one this week. I was in Uncle Weezy's chat last night, super late, like 1:30, and I dropped this parlay in there. Like I said, Weezy, I'm about to play this. And he said, hey, it's got a shot. I have Weezy's blessing. Weezy is the man. So I'm going to share it with y'all as well. 3-leg parlay, Gabriela Hernandez, sub 2-3. Jocelyn Edwards, sub 2-3, and Steve Erceg, sub 2-3. Those 3 parlays put together, $5 returns $2,120 at a plus 42,300. So that's the big daddy this week. That's all 3 parlays. Let's see. We got Dana Blanco, Fluffy sub, Erceg KO, and Lucindo decision is 2,200. Yeah, man. 5 on that returns. What is that? 110, 120? Solid, man. Solid. 10 is 230 back. Solid money, man. Solid money. If you think it hits, I say this every single week. As long as you think it hits, at the end of the day, it's a fist fight, and anything can happen. I've hit 9 legs, 10 legs, more than I hit these 2 or 3 legs. But one thing that I've realized for myself, I can be so confident. I can be the most confident person in the world. But if I put more than $50 on any fight, I lose it. That's just what happens. My max has to be that $50 mark, or I have to count it as an automatic loss, because anytime I've ever bet more than that, I've always lost. But my biggest win ever was $10 to $3,000 on a 9-leg parlay. So that's why I do it. Change the cheddar right here on the Golden Octagon. Does Anthony get the loser of the Paris main event? I don't know, Antoine. I don't think that's a terrible fight. I could see that happening. It depends who it is. And then how do you feel about 319? Is it already next Saturday, man? That's wild. I cannot wait. Got this sick Drinkas card that I need to list on eBay this week. So keep an eye out for, the Drinkas Titans if you're interested in that. And if anyone, missed the video earlier, how sick is this? How sick is this? Ilya Taporia, patch autograph with the canvas, 40 of 99. Absolute heater. That was from the midnight video earlier. Came out today. I got so lucky. I'm going to get one more, and then I'm going to call it quits. So I appreciate y'all for, stopping by here, hanging out with me. Matt over here on the Golden Octagon. This was Change the Cheddar. Remember, at the end of the day, it's a fist fight. Anything can happen. Don't be betting more than you can afford to lose, because just shit Crazy shit happens every single week in this game. And with that being said, I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Hit that thumbs up button on y'all's way out, and I will catch y'all Wednesday for the podcast. Peace.